Swoosh. Hey, I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust, and as always, I'd like to thank you for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be, no matter wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. And I'd like to introduce my co-host, Mr. Mike Ball. Mike Ball, it's good to see you, man. Hey, it's Black Dragon and Mike Ball, Monday through Friday. Here we are at Black Dragon Biker TV, Biker News you can trust, as we are now the number one news station, the number one biker news station in all the world. You can catch us as we cover all of the events that are happening in the motorcycle club world. We cover all things motorcycle clubs, and also make sure to get us on our podcast, The Dragon's Lair, Motorcycle Chaos, wherever you find podcast or podcaster found.
Look at that. Another 10 out of 10. I don't think you can lose.
Man, well, maybe I can lose, but not so far. Not so far.
That's right. Killing it.
Man, listen, they put a guy to death last night in a new kind of way, bro.
Yeah, what was going on with this? It was like some sort of new substance.
Yeah, nitrogen.
And weren't they all worried about it like spreading and stuff? Regarding.
Not only were they, well, the whole thing. See, these people that are putting folks to death, like they're not doctored, like they're not certified or anything. You know, Alabama's got some dudes that, okay, well, we're going to put this guy to death, and
you just make it happen.
Well, they investigate and stuff, and they ask questions. But it's not like these guys are like you would think, top chemist or something.
No, it's a guy like me that's got bleach over here.
Yeah,
mixing it all up.
It's so it would seem. So these poor bastard, they tried to kill him before for 4 hours. For 4 hours, they were looking for a vein. They couldn't find a vein in his body for 4 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah, they dug around. I've got veins that roll. And sometimes it takes 20, 30 minutes to get it.
I've had it where they've had to poke me 2 or 3 times, miss, get another doctor or another nurse, do it, miss again, then get another doctor. I've had to do that before.
Normally they come in the back of my thing where it hurts like the most.
Yes.
Well, they couldn't get anything in this poor guy, this poor dude. They couldn't get anything in him. And he murdered somebody, some lady, I think he murdered for hire, him and some other folks. I mean, he killed somebody. And, I thought if they had one shot at it and you didn't make it, or they didn't get a chance to.
Right, they didn't get it right.
I thought it was over.
I'm scot-free.
No, I survived the sodium pentothal, or they call it. I survived that. And I'm still alive.
You just come through it. Hey, if you come through it, I think you deserve to stay alive at that point.
I mean, the near-death experience ought to, even if you're messed up, but no, they were like, okay, we'll try it again in 4 years. So they came back, but here they put this mask on him, and the people already knew. They knew how he was going to die. They already knew that the gas itself was not going to kill him. The gas was going to make him throw up, and they would have the mask on him so tight that he would suffocate on his own vomit.
That's how they knew he was going to die.
That they already knew it. They knew it. They had it all. Okay, this is how he's going to go. And his attorney was like, "This is cruel and unusual punishment."
It is. Absolutely.
Look what happened to
can't die that way.
Where's the firing squad or something? I just want to be in a chair, 12 dudes aiming at my heart. Bang, 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 bang. And one guy has a blank gun, so you don't know who actually killed him. As long as you're not the first one to shoot.
That's right.
Everybody shoots at the same time. You know, this whole man.
So where did they come up with? Where did this whole thing come up with?
They're yahoos, man. They're yahoos. They're yahoos. Somebody just yahooed, and that was it. Somebody yahooed it.
Wow.
Yahoo! I know how we'll kill the man. Let's just use nitrogen gas. And it was like that.
And he'll die on his own vomit.
He choked to death. And the priest that saw it, the preacher pastor dude, he said it was horrendous.
I would imagine.
He said it took that guy 20 minutes to die. That's a long time. You want to know the last guy I saw to die like that? When Donald Trump was running for office back in
2016. Yep.
When he was running for office, he kept telling us about Al Qaeda and the horrible things they were doing to people. And he said, "You just won't believe some of this stuff." And he started explaining it in one of his, things where he was speaking. And he said, "You just got to go look at it." So he talked about them drowning people alive and all that. So I went on the web, on the little dark web. I went on the dark web search.
The deep dark web. What can you find down there? You can find you can find anything.
I found, I did get to see those people drown to death. It was horrendous. But the worst one I saw, and he talked about it, was the pilot that got burned alive. They captured ISIS captured a pilot from Turkey, and they burned him alive. And it took that guy a good damn 10 minutes to walk around that cage on fire and burn to death.
Oh my God.
It was horrendous. It was horrendous.
Could you imagine 10 minutes? That's like 10 hours being on fire. 10 minutes
of burning. Like that was not over real quick. That was not over real quick. It was 10 minutes of burning.
Pure suffering, the worst way you could probably go.
And the guy was just, he walked around. At first it hit him and he jumped up in the air like 52 feet high.
I bet.
And then he's just, jumping like this. And then in a couple seconds, his whole body is engulfed. And he's just walking around like the flame on, like
just
Mr.
trying to get it off. Yeah, just walking around like this, huh?
Like it almost didn't even hurt anymore.
Oh my God.
I couldn't tell whether he was screaming or not. And he just walked around in circles. And then finally he he dropped down to his knees with his hands like this. And then that time, then they came and dropped a truckload of cement on him. Yeah. He was in a cage.
They just cemented the whole cage.
They just backed up and dropped. No, it was cement blocks.
Oh, wow.
And a dump truck. It was a dump truck. And they just dumped this dump truck and just crushed the whole cage he was in. This was to represent the buildings that he blew up and the people that burned to death and were crushed by the cement.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they gave him the same.
Right. Same treatment. I understand what they're doing.
Yeah, but it was,
wow.
A firing squad, a beheading would have been better.
Well,
a beheading would have been over in seconds.
It happens in seconds, and I would imagine that you're dead. You're not walking around doing the chicken with no head.
He just walking around the cage. Anybody see that, man?
That's freaky, man.
Somebody said that was confirmed by a captured ISIS guy that was there.
Wow.
He was a Jordanian pilot. I thought he was a Turkish pilot. They made him believe it was going to be an act. He thought they were going to let him go. Yeah. Oh,
that's so crazy.
They had the whole production where he was, decrying the country he came from. For some reason, I thought he was from Turkey, Jordanian. Anyway, yeah, it was. So that's torture.
That is torture.
And this man was laying there on the gurney, And they said it took him 20 minutes to die. It took him twice as long as the fire dude to die. I think that, the capital punishment should be the killing of you, not the suffering. Some people say, well, he killed that person. He deserves what man, 20 minutes to die?
Yeah, you what gives you the right to give 20 minutes of pure hell?
Somebody choking that choked to death on their own. Anyway.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
I think it is.
And he knows it's all happening too in real time. Like that's what's got to freak out. You're not even passed out.
No, man. No. Yeah. So anyway, that went on, and
crazy.
That happened last night. So absolutely great. Call me soft or whatever, but I think that was a little bit much.
No, that was much. Facts.
Speaking of a little much, our story today.
Oh, wow.
A drug cartel abducts motorcycle club members in the middle of a mountain ride.
So what's going down with this?
This is crazy because the people that they abducted are part of this. You've heard of these people before. So there's a place called Chihuahua, Mexico. I think it's called Chihuahua.
It is.
And there is a Mormon sect down there. Can we call it a sect? Does that mean a group of Mormons? Little Mormon.
I think that's right.
I know sect always takes a negative connotation. Look at that sect. They call biker club sects. Look at that MC sect over there. That's a cool name for a motorcycle club. MC sect.
I like that.
MC. Yeah. Yeah. Instead of a president, you just have a spiritual leader dragon.
You can have that one.
I listen, I speak with the man above and everything. I'm spiritual leader dragon, and amen.
Yeah, that's the use case right there.
That's the use case. I'm always looking for use cases to use my I'm still trying to find a use case for this one.
You just sound like a messed up accordion.
So, in any event, this Mormon group of people that you've heard of before, they were several of them were killed. I think in 2019, murdered outrageously by it could be even the same drug cartel. So this is like the second incident that they've had.
Oh boy, so this is all happening.
Yeah, we're going to go over some of this. So, Cartel Abducts motorcycle club members in the middle of a mountain ride in a place called LeBaron. The community is called LeBaron Community, rocked by yet another brush with the Mexican drug traffickers as members return bruised and battered. And so I think I'd be moving the hell out of there. I'd have to move my community when you hear about all the stuff they've been through. So this is reported from El Paso. This newspaper is called The Border Report. 4 members of a motorcycle club abducted by drug cartel operatives during a ride in the mountains of western Chihuahua have been freed, Attorney General Cesar Warugi, I'm killing his name, said on Thursday. The victims include residents of the binational community of LeBaron, Chihuahua, which was rocked by murders of 3 women and 6 children, all of them American citizens, during a drug cartel attack in 2019, November 2019. The bikers started their ride in Nuevo Casas Grandes and were passing through the community of Matadero del Largo in western Chihuahua on Monday when one of the motorcycles broke down, according to that district attorney, Warugi. It was then that members of an organized criminal group operating in the area just stopped on by and took him prisoner. So they were taken to some cabañas. I guess those are homes. They were taken to some cabanas, and the group was questioned. After the interrogation, 2 of them were freed, but they would not release the other 2. Warega said in a news conference on Facebook Live, with the substantial presence of state police, the Army, the National Guard in the area, searching and making their presence known, I think we were able to dissuade the criminal group to have them understand it would be better for them to free these people. Here is the flyer that went out. Alerta Desperacidos Ayundinos in Contrarlos.
So is this like a wanted? Is this kind of like a wanted thing, or like a
alert,
beware?
Alert, and then this looks like desperate, maybe, and then Ayundos in Contrarlos, and then all these people's names. So this is the hey, we're looking for alert. We're looking for these people right here desperately. And here's the 4 motorcycle club riders. It doesn't say what club they were in. Members of the LeBaron community members put out posters identifying the victims as Christian Bruce LeBaron Johnson, Shim Lamar Stubbs Gwynn, Miguel Angel Moreno Sanchez, and Manuel Horatio Rios Jacobo. LeBaron is an independent Mormon settlement. Okay, so we'll call it an independent Mormon settlement rather than a sect. Established in the early 20th century. Oh, they've been around a while. And today includes several members holding U.S. and Mexican citizenship.
By the way, it means alert and missing. Alert missing.
Oh, there you go. See, between myself and my subscribers, and
we know everything.
We know everything. There you go. So the authorities told us they freed Miguel and Horatio, who were still being held. They tell us they are badly beaten, but thank God they are alive and will be reunited with their families and friends. Activist Adrian LeBaron said on social media. I guess everybody's got a LeBaron name. This shows that when people are united and organized and decide not to keep silent, miracles can happen. You see, the LeBaron community members had held a protest at the state capitol earlier in the week, demanding the safe return of their relatives. Warugi on Thursday said no one has been arrested for the abductions, and expressed mixed feelings about the protest. They weren't really too happy with the protest. He said, we were always mindful of the safety of the victims. You know, we had this, we're doing our jobs. And he says, if at any time there was any risk for their lives, it was because of the protests, not us. He said, I understand people's desperation and their lack of trust in authorities. I think their right to protest and make demands from authorities is they have the right to do that, but that is not how things get done, the attorney general said. We don't do that around here. He said authorities were in constant communication with relatives during the 2-day ordeal. So it wasn't like we left them in the dark. We were in constant communication with them. And we provided personal protection for the 2 bikers that were first released. Wow. Scary, huh? State officials have repeatedly told Border Report, that's the newspaper, and other international news media outlets that Chihuahua remains safe for legitimate commerce and tourism activities. What were they doing? Some illegitimate? I mean, come on. How more legitimate can riding your motorcycle be? It must not be safe for legitimate tourism activities if you can't legitimately take your motorcycle through a mountain ride.
Right. Facts.
But the AG said it was safe. However, he said drug violence besieges entire communities where the Sinaloa cartel and the La Lania are contesting control over a wide portfolio of illegal activities, ranging from illegal logging, fuel theft, extortion, and expansion of a Mexican drug sales market. They just got a whole lot of business going on, a portfolio, if you will. Warugi said all but one of the motorcycles had been recovered. So they got most of the motorcycles back, and that 2 vehicles have been seized in connection to the abduction. he did not identify the criminal group that abducted the bikers.
Of course not.
Because that's not how stuff is done around there.
No.
Man.
No name dropping like that over there. Even in the media.
No, we don't do that because they killed, man.
Even in the media, they do not name drop them over there.
So let's not even that newspaper was like, I'll tell you who it is. No, sir. And Black Dragon ain't either.
Right.
So, but let's go back to that thing that happened in 2019. That's all here. So the first of all, they arrested like 25 people during that. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So here's one of the stories: suspect in the killings of 9 Americans returned to Mexico. So this is a story about one of the guys who had run away. This guy right here had run away to Texas, running from the charges in Mexico. But the U.S. captured him and returned him to a Mexican man wanted in connection with the 2019 killings of 9 Americans in the border state of Sonora. Federal agents arrested 24-year-old Gustavo Ivan Hernandez Cabral on September 4th at a motel in Albuquerque. But he made it all the way up to Albuquerque. He was handed over to Mexican authorities on October 13th at one of the international bridges in downtown El Paso. They took him on the bridge and probably handed him off like mid-bridge, like a prisoner swap exchange or something. Hernandez Cabral had crossed the border illegally into Santa Teresa, New Mexico, 3 times in July, according to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. And each time he was processed for voluntary return and repatriated back to Mexico. Hernandez Cabral again entered the U.S. illegally on August 5th after Homeland Security investigations learned that he was illegally residing in central New Mexico, where agents tracked him down. Damn, they're pretty good, huh? So the U.S. District Court, the District of New Mexico, convicted of illegal entry on October 4th after spending a month at the El Paso Processing Center. An immigration judge ordered him to be removed back to the United States. On November 4th, 2019, and this is the story, gunmen ambushed 3 women and 6 children who were members of the LeBron, Langford, and Johnson families associated with the independent Mormon settlement of LeBron, Chihuahua. I think that's that word. The dead, all Americans, including adults Ronita Miller, 30 years old, Dwana Langford, 43, and Christina Mary Langford Johnson, 29. The children were Howard Miller, 12, Trevor Langford, 11, Crystal Miller, 10, Rogan Langford, 2, and 8-month-old twins Titus and Tiana Miller. And here's the pictures of all these people. And these were beautiful young people and babies. The La Linea drug cartel, formerly the Juarez cartel, has been blamed for carrying out the massacre, and nearly 3 dozen members, including some of its leaders, have been arrested. So that's like, 36 people. This dangerous fugitive wanted for that massacre of the innocent women and children was taken back to Mexico. So we dig a little bit deeper. Here's one of the bosses that they talked about that got arrested. They called him the Mute. He was arrested. I don't know what came of the arrest, but they arrested another 3 suspects in connection to the killing of 9 citizens. This guy was called Roberto Gonzalez Montes, a.k.a. El Mudo, or the Mute, a major leader of the La Linea drug cartel in western Chihuahua. The other 2 were only identified as Santiago C. and Elalio D. So they detained him, and he was in the mountains of western Chihuahua. So the mountains of western Chihuahua don't seem to be the place to be.
Yeah, they don't play.
He's led a bloody war in the past against the Gente Nueva cell of Sinaloa cartel for control of the drug trafficking routes. Check this out: gasoline theft and illegal logging. They got their hands on some stuff over there.
Man, they will move anything that makes money.
I guess so. According to authorities and drug experts, he was previously arrested on drug and weapons charges, but released in 2017. They linked him to the November 4, 2019 killing of the women. They say that he was the one that gave the orders for that to happen.
Wow.
And there was more, let's see, about how it actually happened. So is this the one? And here's 12 more men were arrested. So let's go back out. I remember the story. I just didn't know all of this had happened in the story.
A lot of connections here. And it dates all the way back to 2019. So we're talking 5 years ago.
Anyway, they wound up being ordered to pay $4.6 billion.
Wait, with a B?
Juarez Cartel ordered to pay $4.6 billion.
Look at that full screen on that. $4.6 billion.
For the killing of the 9 Americans. I don't know if that is something that they could enforce, but a federal judge in North Dakota issued the multi-billion-dollar judgment. He ordered the transnational criminal organization formerly known as the Juarez Cartel to pay monetary damages to the family of 9 Americans killed in the ambush. It gave the family their names again, and the price of $4.64 billion at a rate of 6.5% a year as interest, 6.5% per year, should the criminal organization, now known as La Linea, delay its payments. There was a judgment issued by default because they never showed up to contest the proceedings despite the publication of the trial notices published in Mexico. Howard Miller and Tyler Johnson they were husbands. They filed the suit because they were living and working in North Dakota at the time of the killing. So that's why they filed it there. The slain Americans had ties to the independent Mormon colony that has been there for a while. Now, here it is. The attack took place outside the United States, but involved American citizens who were victims of the act of international terrorism. Hence, they are entitled to damages, the judge ruled. The women and children were shot and burned. So it was pretty crazy. Let's see. Based on facts adduced from evidence at the trial, the attacks carried out by the defendant were objectively intended to intimidate and coerce a civilian population and to influence police and government intimidation. I'm looking for the story that I read, how it actually all went down. But basically, they shot up the cars with the people in them and the women and children, and there were 2 different cars, 2 different areas. And basically, those people that did not die were burned alive in the cars.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was just crazy. I wish I could find.
Now, someone asked in the chat, what does South Dakota have to do with the Mexican cartels?
So, as it just said, because 2 of the people were working in South Dakota at the time that it happened, that's why they filed the charges there. And that's what South Dakota had to do with that. Yeah. So, after all of that happened in 2019, what? 4.5 years later or so?
Yeah.
In 2024, it happened. They got beaten up and arrested, beaten up and taken hostage and all that. The same Mormon group, these guys are out on a motorcycle ride 3.5, 4 years later and go through another horrible situation.
I wonder what made them target that motorcycle club? Usually you would think they would go after somebody with, by themselves and all
Well,
that.
why did they kill those women and children?
Yeah, I mean,
They
it's
say
sick, but
they said that they mistook them for what I read somewhere else said they mistook them for um, the rival drug cartel initially, and
what?
then yeah,
How
they
can you mistake women and children for
well
your
you
op?
see the car driving at night and you think that's the other guys,
Oh,
so
I understand.
and then when you get up on it, you realize, oh well, we messed up. Okay, well, let's torch it. I mean, craziness. Yeah, so
Man, that's crazy.
I wouldn't want to live down there, man.
No, and it's, by the way, a correction. It's Dakota. We keep saying South, so it is Dakota.
I thought I said so, north, but anyway, yeah. I wish I could find for you guys. I saw it earlier. I thought I had saved it. The actual story of how the killing took place because it was horrible. How they killed those women and children. It was horrible.
Well, it sounds automatically terrible. I mean, without any type of video or anything, without any type of article, women and children dying no matter what, we don't support.
I think here's the story here. Mexican government investigators maintain the Americans traveling in 3 SUVs on a highway in Sonora were mistaken by La Línea for members of a rival Sinaloa cartel cell known as Los Salazar. The two groups have fought a protracted war for control of the Agua Prieta, Sonora, Douglas, Arizona drug corridor.
And to answer your question, Panhead, we do not know what motorcycle club was abducted. There is
They didn't
no,
say.
they don't release that, so we don't know. So for a 5-year debacle, they weren't able to really handle anything in Mexico regarding this at all. They just kind of got away with it.
Well, they lost $4.6 billion if they paid it
Well, when was that ruling?
a couple of years ago.
Okay, okay. I thought that was more recent.
So it looks like what happened was after hearing from two defectors of the Sinaloa cartel on November 3rd, 2019, about 100 heavily armed members of the La Línea uh, cartel began an offensive against their rivals, firing on houses and setting some of them on fire in
Wow.
Agua Prieta. Hours later, to the south, Ronita Miller, Langford Ray, and their children formed a 3 vehicle caravan in their farming community of La Mora, Sonora, intending to reach a highway where Ronita Miller was to travel to Phoenix, Arizona to meet her husband. Her companions were to head back to LeBron, Chihuahua, after they dropped her off. Simultaneously, the warring La Línea units were taking control of a 9-mile stretch of highway. Cartel members allegedly allowed Langford's and Ray's vehicles to pass their first checkpoint, knowing a second hit team was lying in wait further down the road, according to court documents. Ronita Miller's vehicle had a mechanical issue, and she returned to La Mora to get a Chevrolet Suburban. Court documents state she rushed to catch up with the other two women and came under automatic gunfire and belt-fed machine gun fire at the first checkpoint. The woman and at least some of the 4 children riding with her apparently were still alive after the barrage. A cartel member videotaped part of the assault, in which his peers allegedly shout, "They're still there!" And then they shout, "Burn it!" This is a picture of the burned car. Um, 9 miles down, the vehicles driven by the other two women came under gunfire at the second cartel checkpoint, court documents state.
That thing really was on fire. Damn.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Miss Langford exited the vehicle with a bullet wound to her hip. Her hands were high up in the air to show the attacker she was unarmed. So she's limping with a bullet. You know, it's almost impossible to walk with a bullet wound in your hip. The cartel members shot her through the chest. Her 7-month-old baby was in her vehicle but survived, with at least one bullet having hit her car seat.
Wow.
Behind her, Ray stopped her own Chevrolet Suburban and tried to exit the vehicle to assist Langford. She was shot at, so she ran back to the vehicle and instructed her children to run. 15 gunmen moved closer to her vehicle and fired, killing her and 2 of her children, according to court documents. Mexican authorities reported finding 200 bullet casings on the scene. Ray had been shot 13 times in the body and the head. Some of the children survived the attack and carried younger siblings back, all the way back 9 miles, right, to La Mora. Court documents detail how relatives rushed to the scene after the attacks and were able to see still burning vehicles and at least 3 men dressed in black and wearing military helmets walking away. The Mexican government listed the cause of death to Langford, Ray, and 2 of her children as the results of gunshot wounds. Renita Miller and her 4 children died from 3rd-degree burns. They burned to death in the car, bro. Even after these murders, the Juarez cartel continues to engage in repeated acts of terrorism, court documents state. And Hochlister's judgment includes $2 billion for the Langford family, $1.8 billion for the Miller LeBron family, $579.5 million for the Johnson family, and $184.8 million for the Ray family. So that was the story of the shootings that they went through, the 9 members of their family that were killed in those same mountains that these guys take a motorcycle ride through, only to wind up kidnapped, beaten up, and held for.
So, I mean, we can't assume, but we can only kind of do a best guesstimate.
Might not be the same cartel,
right,
but it was a cartel.
And it's somewhere
Obviously,
right there.
A couple of them working in the area.
Sure. Wow. That's rough.
And as I was reading other stuff in there, like just other stories, like they had a story of a government worker that was just murdered. Like these guys ain't messing around.
They really got it rough over there.
I don't know. I have to get on out of the LeBaron settlement. If it's me, I'm the hell out of there. I want to ride back and forth to the settlement and nowhere else, to the store of the settlement. I want an armed security. You know, they won $4 billion. Maybe they can afford some armed security or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
No, it's absolutely wild. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate all the way around, you know, especially when women and children are involved. That's nothing that we want to see ever, especially in our community. We don't support that.
Gator says this is the stuff you read about that happens in the Middle East.
For real. Not lying. It's rough.
Man. Yeah. Well, I'm glad they got him back.
Right. Yeah, at bare minimum.
Man, what do you do? Man,
it's really complicated when you got the border involved, and then not only the border, but then on top of that, you're dealing with a cartel.
Yeah.
Now everything is stacked against you.
So that would be that would be under siege. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you say the border's under siege, Now that I would classify as being under siege. Yeah. So they got everything going on now. What's going on at the border? They say that the governor Abbott said he ain't fixing to do what the Supreme Court said do. Is that crazy?
I don't know if I would do anything against the Supreme Court like that.
The Supreme Court said take down them steel fences, barbed wire fences, and
they're saying, hell no. I mean,
yeah,
look,
we're gonna put
I
more up.
think if you ain't a country unless you have borders, but that's just me.
Oh, absolutely. You ain't a country unless you got borders. Absolutely. And but in this country, we have agreed that the Supreme Court is the highest institution of law
Correct.
in the United States. So
To go against it is pretty hardcore.
That's like not being a country too. If not having borders is not being a country, not doing what the Supreme Court says is, I mean, because at that point we just do whatever we want.
Right. Facts.
Gator says seems the cartel is a bigger threat than the Supreme Court. Obviously. So most Supreme Court judges are operating under blackmail conditions. I don't know. I don't know if they are.
We don't know it to be truth, but we can always assume and speculate.
I don't know if they're operating. I just know what they said. They said take them fences down, bro. And Governor Abbott said, no, we're not going to take the fences down. We're going to put more up, and we're not going to let your government agents come in Texas and we're using everybody that we got over here to stop them. We're not even going to let them get over to the wall. I hear Texas is trying to break off and be their own country. Wow.
Yep. It's been in the talks for a long time, but they may actually do it.
I think you'll see how tough they tried it before. They tried it before, and they got to see how tough this country is. How bad it wants to stay as one. We had hundreds of thousands of dead people laying around in the fields of the South and stuff. We had hundreds of thousands.
No shit.
People. Yeah. Let me see how many people died in the Civil War.
What year was that?
I don't know. 18 maybe.
And that was specifically over with Texas.
No, all the.
It was all of the Civil War. I understand.
For more than a century, the most accepted estimate was about 620,000 dead. A specific figure of 618,222 was often cited, with 360,222 Union deaths and 258,000 Confederate deaths. Like I said, they had hundreds of thousands of people laying in them fields dead.
That's a lot.
So when people get to talking about, oh man, we need to go back to war, we need a civil war, boy, that's what a civil war looked like the first time.
Right. Not cool.
Not cool. And the North won, but lost more people. 360,222 Union soldiers died. That's like 100,000 more,
right,
than the Confederates lost. I didn't know that. I thought the one who lost the most people
nope. I guess what happens is they have more population up north overall.
So there you go. There you go. I don't know, bro.
Crazy.
It's going on in this country, man.
We're seeing it.
Yeah. I just want to ride motorcycles.
Yeah, I would like to just peacefully ride my ride, not have to deal with this crap. Rough. Not fun to say the least.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
No, it's one of those bummer situations all the way
Yeah.
around.
The Civil War, the North invaded the South. They burned houses, farms, cities, killed the livestock, raped women. Wow.
Yeah,
Nothing about the Civil War was civil. Nothing civil about the Civil War.
definitely nothing civil about it except hurting our own people.
Anyway, I think that's it for today. I had a couple other stories, but I lost them.
Oh, well, that's typical Black Dragon.
Yeah. Um, I tag them to remember them.
But then what happens?
we go live and I
Stop the cap.
can't find them.
Yeah.
But that was pretty
Him and
cool.
his 2 million tabs open on Google Chrome.
Man, I closed quite a few of them.
Good, you should.
Yeah, if you look at uh oh wow, I wonder why I did that. That was weird.
That is weird.
Oh, I know why I did that, but okay, let's just do this. If you look at my services here.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Look at that for Chrome. 87 tabs open.
87. Who
And,
even does that?
and 22 Microsoft Edge tabs.
Dude,
Somebody
who even uses Edge?
somebody who's got a bad computer. That's who.
Oh my god, this is embarrassing.
You got to have your computer's got to be together to do it like that.
That's true. That's true. That you need a lot of
19
RAM. You need a lot of
19
RAM.
Adobe Acrobat tabs. Audacity is up. Adobe Creative Cloud, 87 Google Chrome tabs. Microsoft Office, 7 applications open. 22 Microsoft Edge tabs. Excel is up. Word is up. I got about, what, 15 Word documents. I see all those Word documents open down there. We got OBS Studios up and running. Microsoft Excel. Snagit
I'm
editors.
surprised
Spreaker.
your whole computer hasn't shut down and burned and crashed.
We got Spreaker up right now running. Look at Spreaker's running the whole podcast show is complete. Whole podcast show is running in the background. Stream Deck 6 is up. Look at this. We got Voice Mod up and running. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Aztec says, you lost me when you started talking tech. Yep. It means he's overusing his entire computer by a long shot.
And then we got all these Discords up, about 5 Discord servers up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Discord servers are up. These are all my Google Chromes. Baby, we're running. We're running.
Whatever.
That's right. That's when you put that money in that computer box. Yes, sir. It's called RAM.
Yep, it is called RAM.
It's called. We need to make a RAM song. Anyway, my friend, I think that's good for the day. What do you think?
Absolutely. Fantastic. Well done there, kind sir.
There will be an MC Protocol video later this afternoon. Maybe a walking, talking video or something like that. I got to figure if I'm walking and talking, maybe you'll run the.
I can do that from right here, and you do your normal walk. And if you want to, if not, you want to do it inside the studio, do it inside the studio. It's up to you.
Well, I want to walk and talk, and I want to be able to hit all the channels at the same time. So
Right.
we're still going to need to do a StreamYard or Restream or something.
You still have to do StreamYard, yeah.
So, all right, my friend.
All right.
You have a great day, man. You got
respect everyone. No, just with you.
Okay. All right,
Yes,
my
sir.
friends. That's it for today. Y'all be good out there. Treat each other right, man. Treat each other right, man. This is crazy. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Get my new book, The Social Club's Bible, Revival, the Women's Social Club Movement, Lifting as We Climb. You can get all my books at blackdragonsgear.com or Amazon or Kindle or Audible. So make sure to support the channel. $Cash App or $Biker Prez. Biker, P-R-E-Z, if you want to support the channel. $Biker Prez. We'd absolutely appreciate you. I'm Black Dragon, man. You guys have a good day and work very hard to get skinny. The Mighty Motorcycle Club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospects Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.